So I made this today. This was made out of the very last spare parts that I had for this batch of folders because I didn't have any left. Just had a couple of spares because I'd done some of the G10 handle scales and I had one blade left. I didn't even have a pocket clip left, so this one is pocket clip free. So I put a stamp directly on the handle there. Now it's not perfect, even by my standards, for how I like to leave things slightly unfinished, but it's completely fine and workable. But the main thing that could be noticed on this one is that this blade, which was one of the spares, has got a slight curve to it. Basically, when it was tempered, it was slightly bowed, and it's very, very small, so functionally it's not going to have a huge impact. But I can't close and open it one-handed, but you can see. It might be hard to see if this doesn't focus. But yeah, it leans a little bit to the right. The edge doesn't scrape, but the blade does bow a bit because there's no washers in here. There's no tolerance for side play, so even a slight bowing is noticeable. But it's perfectly functional, works, and the edge is ground. The edge bevel's about 3 thou thick. It should cut quite nicely. But yeah, I got an email from David. I think it's Cujo Bob, possibly David. But he reminded me a long time back, before I stopped making the knives and had a break. I said I'd try and do one of these. And this is the best I can do, but David, if you want it, it's got to be accepting that slight bowing and things and the lack of the clip. Otherwise, this will also be part of my collection. I haven't made it public yet, so I guess this is the public thing. You know, you've obviously seen I haven't been active for many, many months. June, when I started a different job and lifestyle. And knife making, I just don't have time for it. I've got to look at other things. So probably I'm going to end knife making this year. Christmas, around that time, probably I won't be doing any more knives. And a lot of the focus I'll be doing on knife making is actually making things for myself for the future, because 2,500 things I've made out there, knives, I've only got about 5 of them, if that. So yeah, I want to have a legacy for myself. And I've got about 3 people I still own knives to that have been waiting 7 or 8 months. But yeah, I quite like this one. It came out quite nicely. It's just that known issue there, but it won't affect it in performance. The other one that I was using for about 3 months before I sold it to a friend at work had the exact same bowing, and certainly didn't affect it in use. Alright, later guys.